So I'm Willie from Velox Offroad, and I'm here with Will with Off-Road Alliance. Today we're going to be kind of doing a walkthrough of an install of one of our Gullwings, and he's going to kind of talk us through what he's doing as far as removing some of the trim inside the trunk area of the 4Runner. So what have you removed, Will?
Alright, so far this little clip you just twist out of here, and then there is a Phillips screw behind here. There's a 10mm bolt here and here behind these two plastic caps. There are two more 10mm bolts behind the seat release over here. And once you've got, and there's one more 10mm bolt holding down the tie down in the rear corner here. Once all of that is out, you should be able to pull this weather strip and just kind of pop this out. Be real gentle. There's plastic clips right behind here that go into the side of the body. Once this is all pulled out, you can start pulling these tan pieces out. That comes off pretty easy. This one comes off, and this one so that you don't have to pull the seatbelt completely.
So there's
two tabs at the top of this one that the headliner kind of pokes into. So you kind of need to push in and down to release that from the headliner. And all of this will swing over.
That goes straight down.
And now you have straight body line to, this top one as well.
Residual glass.
Alright, so once you have all that out, you now have the exposed body that we are going to bolt the Gullwing to. Alright, so now that we're on this side of the vehicle, you want to leave your sticky tape backing on for this section. We're just going to, Curtis, can we come over real quick? We're going to line it up where it looks straight. We're going to open the top and hold the bottom where it is. And we're going to use the bolt supply and throw the 4 bolts in so that it's square where we need it. And at this point, we're going to take our Sharpie marker and mark the other 4 holes. We pull these 4 bolts back out, and we're going to remove the Gullwing. Now we have our holes properly marked on the outside here. We're going to center punch them for drilling. You're going to want to use a 9/30 drill bit for this. 9/30. Line that up with your center punch. Slowly work your way in. Watch out for your antenna wire back here, kind of hold that out of the way. Now on this hole, there's 2 layers of thin metal that you have to go through. It's kind of a bubble channel here. So if you feel it stop but you think you're through, you still have to go a little further. Very important on this top hole, right back here, if you want to come get a better shot of that, there's a airbag back here that you do not want to drill through. Bad news. Just kind of let the drill bit do the work. Don't really push too hard. Through. That's all you need. One more hole and then we'll get to reinstallation. That's the two things you need to worry about drilling is the airbag here, the wire here, and just know that there's two little layers right here you'll have to go through. Now we've got all 8 of our installation holes. Alright, and after drilling and everything, you're going to end up with a lot of metal shavings on the interior here. If you've got a small shop vac or a little broom and dustpan or something, you may want to kind of clean this area. Maybe pull behind here if you want to get real clean about it. Alright, and on the glue out here, I know a lot of you are probably going to want to get that pretty clean. You really just need to kind of make it flush like this. You don't need to get all of it off. There's a 1/2 inch wide by 1/8 inch thick foam glue on here, or foam gasket, and that's going to seal pretty good whether you've got this flush or if you leave a little bit here. There's no real difference. It'll still seal perfectly. So on the edge here, if you just pull these backers out a little bit, not completely out, don't pull the whole thing off. That way when you set it up there, you still have a little bit of sliding around to fit the bolts in, get it in the general vicinity, and once it's lightly bolted, you can pull these from the outside and it will pull this out and you can stick it where it needs to be. Go ahead and proceed with the install now, Curtis. Just kind of get it in the general vicinity of where it's going to be. Get a couple bolts in it. You're by yourself, it may be a little easier to have the piston installed so that the door will stay up for you. But of course, it's always nice to have a friend or thing like this. You just want to kind of put these nuts on finger tight. We don't want to screw it down real hard yet. So, up in here, there's another little double walled channel, kind of like the one we drilled through previously. And on this piece, you can try to slide it through here, or put it through the hole, but you just have to be careful to get the washer inside of the hole. That way it doesn't squish this channel. Just like so. Little hole right here, just the size of that washer, so it'll kind of sit flush inside of it. Alright, and now that we've got all of the nuts finger tight, we can go through and pull this adhesive out from the back, and that will keep it planted. A little bit of outward pressure just so that this doesn't rip on you. Now, kind of firmly press in, and that will stick all of that adhesive to the body. And then from there, you start tightening these bolts up. Alright, this is another part where a buddy will come in handy. You need an 11mm wrench and a 5/32 Allen. You just have somebody kind of tighten them from the outside while you hold them, or you feel like you can get them yourself. Like that. And there are the 8-bolt. Some of you Toyota enthusiasts may know the rear windows house the antennas for the satellite and the radio. You have to remove this antenna with the glass, and with the kit you get this antenna. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this male ear spade, plug it into here, and then they supply you with these little sticky zip ties, and you're going to place these inside behind the plastics here, and then kind of run this wire down through them to adhere it to the side of the vehicle and get the best reception that you can. So we'll run this down back behind here. Until you get it on the other side. Pull that through. You may need to use an adhesion promoter or just kind of clean this area. Since it's behind all your plastics, it may be pretty dusty. These might not want to stick very well. Just kind of do whatever you can.
I'm going to run it like this for probably a month. And let the exposure go there.
Kind of run it down this way. Through, I run it behind this ground here so that it's kind of tucked out, and then you'll take the rest of this, kind of coil it up, and put it through these zip ties back here. You see we kind of just tuck it in a small loop there, close to the outside of the vehicle, and that'll still get signal for your radio, and you'll still have bumping tunes. You look behind here, I just kind of ran it up through here and up to the factory wire. Now we're going to put the interior panels back in. There's 3 clips on top of this. Pop into 3 holes up here. Like that. This one that's resting on your seat belt. And remember, there are the 2 holes right up here that need to clip into 2 fingers on the headliner here. So you kind of have to go in and pop it back out. install these clips back in. Still need this rear piece out so that you can slide this piece down under the black. There's a tab here that goes into a hole at the top, and another tab down here that goes into this hole. And once you have those upper pieces in, pop this black piece back in. You now have your interior back together. You're going to want to take your hardware. The longer Phillips bolt goes here behind. Lost my pieces. Behind the little screw. This is going to go back in there. We've got two 10mm bolts, one up top under the top piece, one down here under your pocket, and there's two more 10mm bolts that go behind the seat release here. Now these two 10mm bolts back here aren't super necessary to remove. It will give you a little bit extra wiggle room when pulling this lower half back, but not completely necessary. I probably could have gotten away with not pulling these two. It may save you 5 minutes. Here, get some more light on the here, here, and there's another bolt down here. All of that holds this corner on. You don't necessarily need to pull this out unless you're going to pull the entire piece. We didn't need to do that this time because he's got a slide back here and it can take a little more time. You can get the upper pieces out without completely pulling this. You just have to kind of pry it back at the top. Everything will slide out pretty easy. Pops right back on. Last pieces in here. There's one more 10mm I forgot about, your tie down. This is going to go right down here. To get to this bolt, there's a little piece. If you stick something to pry in here, this will pop up and your 10mm is right in the center there. There we have it. You've got your interior back together. So now we're going in to install the strut, and it's always a good idea to add a little bit of Loctite to this top piece, just so that as it goes up and down over the years, it won't wiggle loose on you just a little bit. Just for safe measure. Get that nice and tight, clean your access. Now this is a 12mm on the back here, and 14 millimeter for the nut. And we're going to match the other strut back here. If you don't have your buddy, you can use a hook or something to hold it up. Maybe easier to do this from the inside. So that's a 12 millimeter and a 14 millimeter. You're probably going to need 2 wrenches for the inside. I am going to use a tool on the outside because I can. Just make sure that's nice and tight from the inside here. Be real careful not to scratch your interior plastics if you care about bumping. Some of y'all wheeling guys, strut installed. Beautiful.